You are listening to the WYRD Mountain Gals Show. Prepare yourself.
It's in progress. You're in the United States. We're
I am back.
recording.
I am back in this hellhole that we call a nation. Yes, ma'am.
Well,
Oh my
yeah.
God. Today, actually just a few minutes ago, there was a report on the BBC that they're going to have to rename marmalade because of some kind of weird international, probably copyright law or something. And I've decided I'm gonna keep a list of the things that just when I hear them, I just think, oh, for fuck's sake. And I'm just going to keep a running list of them because most of them are
Ah,
things like, we are going to rename marmalade. Oh, for fuck's sake.
ah,
Sorry, you're going to have to crow that out or just leave it in. I
I
don't even care.
mean, I'm starting to wonder if there's any reason to crow this stuff out, but yeah,
Well,
anyway.
I mean, that is up to you as the editorial board. But yeah, the thing, this, I woke up this morning. I guess woke up with my panties twisted. Not that I had panties on, you understand. But
I was gonna
I
say you
woke up
dressed up.
and there was an article from the Citizen Times about how they're putting out a national search for artists for two pieces of art for the new airport. And I just thought, oh, for fuck's sake. They talk about, oh, but Asheville is the city of arts and we love our artists. Well, if you love your artists, hire some local artists. And that is just the end of it. Anyway, hey, it's good to see
It's good, dear. Your voice. It really is. I'm thrilled about that. I'll tell you what, it has been, it seems like 6 months worth of
you. It does, doesn't
news.
it? It
Yeah,
feels like that too.
and events just flying at us. And so here's, with your permission, here's what I'd like to do. Let's
All
just
right.
forget all that bullshit going on right now. And let's take 20 minutes and please tell me, how was the trip?
It was. And I probably can tell you in less than 20 minutes without, like you said earlier, I can't go into detail, but yeah,
Yeah.
it was great, Alicia. It was so, so good.
Hmm.
And, I'm still on the upswing health wise from all that Helene stuff and the jaw surgery and all that. So it was challenging sometimes just because I just still get tired real easily. But it was a
Yeah,
great group of people, great.
that's good.
And the accommodations were all good. Food was too much, too much.
Mm.
And and it just the whole feel of it. There are only a couple of places that when I look back on them, I feel a little sour about them. And
Hmm.
that was not anything anybody could have done anything about. It was just circumstantial.
Hmm.
But golly, it was good. And the first week, was the retreat. And that went very, very well. It went so well that the organizers are putting their heads around doing the exact same retreat at the exact same time next year.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Now's the
so
time to plan it. That's right. Yeah, or,
absolutely.
yeah.
And then the last week was my week to visit friends
Hmm.
and also to do my research for that talk I'm giving up at Grandfather Mountain in July. And that was amazing because there's a lot of information available about witch trials and executions in Edinburgh in the early modern period, as they say. But I talked to people, like I was on the bus with a lady, and she said, "Oh, are here on holiday?" And I said, "Well, no, not really. I did this retreat and
Oh,
now I'm researching this thing." And she said, "Oh, it was terrible here." And she was 84 years old. So
oh,
she had
wow.
all this information. It just was at the tip of her fingertips, but she looked like your basic, grandma.
Mm.
And then I was in a cab and the taxi driver, again, people would ask, "Are you here on holiday?" And I would say, "No, I'm doing this and this." And he told me all these places to go. He said, "Oh, it was terrible here. We were terrible." And gave me a whole bunch of places that I could visit. And I wasn't able to visit them all this time, but he was a font of information.
Oh,
And
yeah.
then I met up with several witches in that area. And that was, I mean, it was just, aside from me getting tired easy, which, I just took it easy when I could. And I did this amazing thing. I know I'm racing through this super fast, but I took taxis places that I would normally have walked.
Well, that's good.
Can
I
you
think
believe
that's a
it?
good thing because, well, there's that saying, fish are cut bait. There's a
Yeah.
time to walk slowly, and there's a time when you have some things to do, and you just have to prioritize. And so I think it's cool
Yeah.
you had that experience.
Yeah. It was I learned how to do it. I've been in taxis before, but I've never, gone to the head of the taxi queue and asked them if they were, and all that stuff. And I just
Yeah.
found out it was so damn easy. And then at
Mm.
the end, I just tapped my credit card and it is done.
Yeah. Ba-ding! Just like magic.
Like magic. And so I didn't so I didn't do what I normally do, which is, oh, I've got to go to this particular place, and it's a mile and a half there and a mile and a half back, and plus it's a museum, so I'm gonna do 2 miles in the museum to like a forced march. Instead, I just took the taxi, and when I went through whatever I was doing, like the museum, and I turned around and I got another taxi. It was great. So anyway, it was great. I stubbed my toe Friday night, so I've been limping around here since I got home.
Mm.
Well, I'd finished that talk at the museum,
Yeah.
and it was rainy and dark, and I came out with the museum staff, and we were going across the street, and I
Mm.
didn't calculate, or I couldn't see clearly the curb, so that instead of stepping up on it, I rammed my foot into the curb.
Mm.
And so it's been bruisey and pitiful, but it's better now.
Now,
It'll be good. It's going to
ugh,
be great in a couple of days.
that was a cringy. Ugh, when you
I
said you
know.
did that,
No.
I was just like,
And when I did it, I just thought that was a you awkward thing.
"Oy, yeah,
Because then
ugh,
I had to do 3 airports
ew,
on that
yuck.
on that poor limpy little foot, but it was
Oh my
fine. It was
gosh."
fine. The airports are fine. It was too long a trip. I mean, I had just booked it to save as much money as I could, and I'm just never going to do that again.
Mm.
So there,
I
lessons learned.
Yeah, if you can do that, priorities. I mean, so here's the thing: you could go and buy T-shirts and stuff that you would never wear and bring home and give to people who would never wear them or something, you know, or you could make yourself more comfortable on the trip. I mean,
Or I, or I could damn well do both,
yeah,
because I am old now and I have disposable income, which I never did when I was traveling when I was younger. So I
right.
had to pinch every penny I could, and now I'm just like, shoo, I can do that. That'd be good.
Yeah. I guess it's a different way of thinking, honestly, isn't it?
It is. It absolutely is. And it,
So,
it feels bougie to me. You and I always use that word bougie. It feels pretty bougie, but
yeah, yeah,
that was fine. So I'm bougie.
yeah. Well, it's just,
Nobody
it's a
would
matter of,
suspect me of being bougie.
yeah. Well, I mean, I get it. Penny pinching and stuff is how you are occasionally, if you're super lucky, you get to have a retirement of sorts. Not that I think you're
Uh-huh.
retired in any way, because you're still
No, I don't
working.
know.
You haven't
I don't know
slowed
that that'll
down.
ever happen.
Well, you've
So
talked about slowing down, but you have not slowed down. But
no.
what you're doing is you're going at your own pace, and you're very much in charge of your own schedule. And
Yes,
so
ma'am. I'm
I think
trying to
the
be
best
anyway.
way, that's the best ever. It is. Oh man, it was funny and stupid. And I thought, we are the tech people. We're the ones that tell everybody else stuff, and we can't even do a damn auto draft without
Right,
having a group call.
right.
Yeah. And that just goes to show you how complicated it all is now. And I, free falling is where I am sometimes, and surfing is where I am the rest of the time. I'm just trying to go with it. You see?
But the but the upshot is that everything worked okay, right?
Yes. Oh, yes.
Yay.
Yeah. It had been done correctly. I mean, and I knew it. I knew it. And, what can you say? Anyway, that's good news, and hopefully that will never be that surprise again where it's like, okay, you got to drop everything in your life right now and fix this problem so you can get insurance back, is what I should say.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, listen, I don't want to talk about this. I want to ask you a question.
Okay.
When I go somewhere that I haven't been for a while that I love, I get flooded with memories. Is that what happens with you? When you
It,
went there, did you get a feeling of, wow, this is me, 20 years ago or something?
I did, but now I've been there very recently. I was just in Edinburgh 2 years ago.
Ah, okay,
Um,
that's true.
so
That's true. Damn, I
yeah,
forgot.
so it's not been a long time. Cumbria was a long time though. I had not
Mm,
been there in many, many years, and I went there initially because it's where part of my mother's family is from, up in there, up the Lake District.
yeah.
So I wanted to, kind of touch base on what I think of as ancestral land. But I hadn't been there in many and many a year. So that was it was a sentimental journey there. How's that
Are
for a music reference?
that's a
And
good one.
and we were really, God, we were so lucky that we got to do a ritual for the vernal equinox inside the stone circle at Castle Rig. And it was new moon, it was the end of Mercury retrograde, it was moving into Aries. There were like a whole bunch of things going on that one day. And it just
Mm,
lucked out that that's what we got to do that day. And it was simple and beautiful. And those folks were into it. And there were people, it's a monument. And there were people that were watching us do our ritual. And I know we're on a lot of people's phones, but
good.
that was really, really special.
Oh, and I'm sure it had a strong feeling. My next question was going to be, what what was it? Tell me something that you really loved about the trip this time.
There was so much of it I really loved. Let me think if I can think of one special thing. Well, I loved seeing friends, but here's the thing that I loved, and that was uh, meeting some strangers. And
Oh,
one of them was somebody who is a Facebook friend, and she lives up near Dundee. And I had said I was going to be up there going to the museum.
yeah.
And she and her mate, I don't know if he's her husband or not, they just showed up at the museum. And I got to meet her.
That's
And I
awesome.
was getting ready to go out the door, and there were these two people who looked at me and they were smiling, but it looked like they were walking past me. And so I
Yeah.
just kind of smiled and nodded, and then she touched my arm and said, "It's me." So that was really lovely. And then after I gave that talk, the folks who stayed around, they were smart and they were interested. And yeah, I guess I loved both of those things. And they had to do with meeting strangers and also seeing old friends.
Yeah.
How's that for? But I mean, I loved so much of it.
That's
And that's why being back here is so hard,
is it
just to be
it's
honest.
I guess so. I mean, to walk into a tea shop or, and
A
and
pub, I think you meant to say pub.
oh, excuse me, a pub. Do they have tea shops or coffee houses or anything?
Oh, yeah, actually, they do a lot of coffee, which they didn't do years ago when I was first around there.
Probably the
Yeah,
tourists.
so you can get tons of coffee, but honestly, tea. Um, I had tea in my hotel room.
Mhm.
I could make my own tea, so I didn't usually get tea out.
Ah,
But I would get beer. I drank a lot of local beer.
and I'm sure it was good.
It was good, yes, ma'am.
I
And
I
I ate more French fries than I think I've eaten in my whole damn life.
oh, I wonder if you were at that little intersection there that I watch on the live camera sometimes.
I don't
Uh,
know. Yeah, well, Edinburgh is it is a big tourist town.
Yeah.
So there were a lot of touristy things and a lot of tourists, and they were loud. Americans are the loudest people on the planet.
Yeah.
Play up there, college age kids.
Did
They just were like breaking the sound barrier loud.
yuck. That's big. Yeah. I mean, okay.
You
Well,
know, American
it's
privilege. You know
it's
how we
what.
are.
Yeah. I guess I do. Yeah. The cemeteries.
Uh-huh.
Did you get a chance to go out to any of them? And
Yeah, several. I saw several cemeteries. There's a picture of me that I will send to you, and I'll try to remember to put it on the Facebook page.
Mhm.
And I was standing at the church at Muncaster Castle, the little chapel, and I was talking about ancestors and, one of my talks. I was giving a talk. And the way the photograph looks, it looks like the shadow behind me is not my shadow.
Oh,
And it's very, very interesting looking.
like in Nosferatu. That
Yes,
shadow
exactly. So it looks like somebody much taller. And it was just the time of day that it was and the angle that the
and the
shot was
angle.
at. But it's very interesting. It's very weird looking.
That's cool. Did you experience anything that you'd like to tell the listeners about?
Your voice dropped in a very mysterious
Ooh,
way. Like, you mean
yeah.
spook? You mean spooks?
Yeah, Haints.
Yes, several times. At the castle, there's a room that he kind of built it up by saying, yes, in this room, people have heard someone singing lullabies and they've heard a child crying, and there was this, and blah, 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 backstory. And um, and I said, I would like to go into the room first, if that's okay. And he said, oh yeah, of course. And I did. And you didn't feel anything sad at all. It
Yeah.
felt like it had been a child's bedroom, and it was filled with warmth and good things to eat and gentle light and love and happiness. So that felt really good. And he asked me so afterwards, so how did that feel to you when you walked in? And I told him that. And he said, that's what everyone says about that room. That
Wow.
even though it has the reputation for this, evidently child died there in some kind of really terrible way. Even though it has a reputation for the crying and all that, that everybody feels at ease and at peace in that room. He said, so good, you must really be a witch. And I said, well, I really am.
It is what it is. I
Right.
think people are born with their gifts, and
I
some
do
are
too.
more prominent than others. And this is going to sound crazy, but I think that if humanity were to evolve and continue to improve, I think that we would learn about our gifts and be able to practice using them and would get better at them. So, and then people like you who are energy sensitive and psychic, and you can give you this title and this title and this title, awake, aware, and powerful when you need to be, grounded when you need to be. I think that all of us at some level are capable of it and are born with those gifts. And some people nurture them and some people don't. At some people it's close to the surface and some people it's not. I hear music in a different way than or sound is what I should say, in a different way than a lot of people.
Yeah.
But there are most everybody in the world can do something better than me. You know what I'm saying? We all have our different things. So I wish that I could teleport right there with that group. I can't imagine what it would feel like to be able to be in a stone within a circle
It was really good. It was
at
really
that
good.
time. At that time,
And
with
there was
the
somebody not connected to our group who we noticed was circling the outside of the stones 3 times clockwise. And
really.
every time he would come by, we would kind of nod or bow towards him. So he was obviously doing what we had been doing too.
Okay. Well, that's interesting. And it was a
No, but
he.
I think you're exactly right. And back in the day when those kind of skills were necessary, sometimes for survival,
Hmm.
people appreciated them.
Hmm. Yeah.
And because of the dominant religion on the planet, many people are told they can't. Oh, don't do that. Oh, that's dangerous. That's satanic. That's evil. And so they push all that stuff down, and they never get to experience their birthright.
Right. And they never actually understand what's going on either.
No.
Yeah, I mean, not that any of us do, but you know what I mean. Some of us do more than others. What you got to do was extraordinary in 2026. They're just not, people are just not able to get out or brave enough or whatever, whatever. There's a lot going on in the country. So was
Hmm.
that reflected in attitudes that you could see?
Um, no, but I was at the airport in Philly.
Hmm.
Yeah, Philly. And um, the folks behind me were from London, and they were laughing at a sign that said you couldn't bring any guns, ammunition, any of that on the plane. And they were laughing, saying, well, no, because they want you to buy them once you get there.
Huh.
So, I mean, if anybody talked about, I, nobody much talked about it, to be honest. And
Isn't that
even
nice?
when they knew I was an American, it was like that's your embarrassing uncle, but we just don't talk about
Oh, we just don't even we don't have enough time. You got to get going pretty soon. Hey, I had something happen.
it. Tell me,
It's cool. It reminded me of the old days.
olden
So
days.
y'all who don't know, my mom was hospitalized with a medical emergency, and this would have been like on night three. I was coming in, I'd gone out and gotten supper or something and was coming back in, and you go into the emergency room, and immediately there's a glass cage with officers in it or security
Yeah.
people in it, right? And then you have to get a little ID tag made, and then they let you go up to wherever. Well, this time there was some security guards there and a couple of cops there, and I was kind of beside myself with worry and wasn't paying much attention. And the guy asked me, who you going to see? And I said, blah blah Corbin, room such and such. And I hear Corbin, and I didn't pay any attention. And then I hear a man's voice say, did you say Corbin? And I look, and it's one of those cops. And I said, yeah. And he said, well, that's my name. And then he pulls something, like a little piece of something that he had in his pocket. He moved it, and it showed his ID tag, and he was a Corbin. And I
Oh,
said, oh, okay. I said, small world. And he said, you from here? And I said, well, not really. I said, my family is from Franklin and Robbinsville. And he said, well, now that's where my family is from.
what?
That's what I said. I said, really? And I said, I'll tell you what, my mother greeted every single person who came into St. Joseph's Hospital for anything from Robbinsville or Franklin for most of her 34 years at the hospital. She was the unofficial ambassador. She would go to the room, shake their hands, introduce herself, and figure out who they were and who their family was, and ask them if they needed anything. Okay, so I said, "Would you like to go meet her?" And he said, "Well, yes, ma'am."
Oh,
And
oh.
and so earlier that day when I had come in the door, I brought mom a slice of strawberry pie. Okay.
Mm.
So it was a couple hours later, and I was walking in the door, and I said, Mom, I said, you know how I brought you that pie, that contraband pie that I
Ah,
wasn't supposed to bring you?
ah.
And I said, I brought you something different this time. And he walked in the room, and within 30 seconds, not only had she identified him as my fourth cousin, But she knew everything about his family, where they worked, all that stuff. It was great. Yeah,
Oh my
so
God.
is that
That's
hilarious?
great.
She knew
No,
what
that is
jobs.
very your mother. That's just your mother.
That's the way my grandmother was too, being the town operator, switchboard operator for the town. Yeah. So
Wow.
anyway, I thought that was a cool little, and
I
the
love
timing on it
that.
was interesting too. And it was like that was meant to be. And the other thing was he, in the identification process. Do you remember a few years back? I posted a photograph, and it was like 8 men, and they were standing up, and they were obviously an old time band. They
Yeah,
had fiddle
yeah.
and mandolin. And I said, "This is my grandfather. This is my blah, blah, blah." He pulled that picture up out of his phone, too. That was
Oh,
the weirdest feeling.
wow.
So, you know, I have to also say, thus far, mom's stay there has been a number one. They have taken
Well, that's
incredible
good. That's
care
good to
of
hear.
her.
Good.
Yeah, excellent care. All that to explain and apologize for not having some new episodes up. And I will do my best to stay up on it from here on out. And I'll put up a rerun if I can't. How about that?
Yes,
So
that sounds wonderful. And thanks for letting people know. Y'all, obviously, that I've been in the know about this for a while, but this is an intensely personal and private thing, and that has been up to Alicia. And what you all, if you don't know it, you need to know that she does this podcast. All I do is talk. She she edits it, she puts it up, she monitors it, she can tell you how many hits it's had. She does all of this. I'm just I'm just the voice on the line. So so when there are issues like there have been, that is exactly what is going on.
yeah,
So
yeah.
keep her and her mama, Miss Gail,
Miss
keep
Gail.
them in in your prayers in your
Yeah.
heart, and and just know how lucky Alicia is that her nephew is here at her beck and call, because he
He's
is
been awesome.
amazing. He
Yeah,
is amazing.
it has been. And it just went right out of my brain what I was going to say. Oh my God. And oh, thank you to everybody who's reached out. I've read it all. I just haven't had the brain power to return all the messages, and I am doing so as I can. So I just want to thank everybody. It means a lot.
Yeah,
It
of
does. It
course it
means a
does.
lot.
And you let us know if there's specific things that you need. And you can do that through me if you don't want to just go online and say, I sure could use a banana split from the banana split store.
Oh wow.
You let me know and I will let them know, or I will make it happen.
It's mom that has the contraband thing going on right now, not me. I mean,
Yeah.
I would go to the store and get it, doing what I can. I'm so grateful I got my brain about me and got the mast cell stuff dealt with, which,
Hmm.
yeah, I went and saw him yesterday.
Yeah. How'd he say? What'd he say?
He was fine. Uh, he didn't really, he didn't really have much to say, and neither did I. I asked him to help me get a chart, um, or a list of things to do if I ever have a mast cell activation thing and can't speak. And
Hmm.
he did tell me off to take no Benadryl, and I said, "You don't have to worry. I'm not taking
Oh,
that crap.
okay.
Nope, nope." So, and he should know. So, thus far, I'm very pleased.
Oh,
Yep.
I'm so glad. You could not have done this if you'd been in the shape you were in last year.
Nope, I couldn't have. And so, I need something else to do, Byron. So, I don't mind. I appreciate having stuff to do. I appreciate more feeling like I can. It's like, and at this
Yes,
point, I just feel like, okay, all right, I'm just going to handle it. There's not a huge emergency or urgency or emotion attached to it. I'm in this place where I'm just saying, This is what I need to do. I'm prioritizing and doing it. Period.
Good for you.
Yep.
Good for you.
That's what Byron Ballard taught me through the years. Yeah. I
Just do
remember
it.
lecturing you one time about, no, you need to let people do for you. And yeah, back
And
before I knew you.
what was my answer to that? I
Oh, I
wonder.
can't remember your exact words, but it was something along the lines of, well, it was a Byron special, whatever it was,
Right.
but I got
Well,
the exact,
if they would, I would let them. But the track record is pretty consistent.
that's probably real close to what
Probably
it said.
exactly it. Yes,
Yep.
ma'am.
Yeah. So anyway, that's a really good way of getting things done, though, because
Mm-hmm.
because I've seen you get, I mean, just watching you around the cottage and stuff. Which, by the way, when things are settled, I
Yep.
I miss the cottage. I
Yeah. Well,
I
I got to
want.
get down there probably in about 2 weeks because I'm covered up this week, which means I'm also covered up next week. I'm gonna get down there and do some cleaning. You can just come hang out while I do some
Hey,
cleaning.
I can get some cleaning done too. I mean, I'll help you,
Okay.
and I'll probably ask you to come and help me. How about that?
That sounds great. Let's do that.
Okay. That's how it works. That's how we get it done. All right.
Right. And that's how communities thrive and are healthy because people help each other.
Yeah.
Period.
Endo sentence. That
Yep.
song I was working on right before all this happened was a Weirdling song, and it,
Yeah.
it talks about that. Yeah, it talks about that. Working witches, brave and true, boots on the ground, hearts wide open too.
Oh, that's so beautiful. I
Yeah.
want you to get that song done.
Well, yeah, I need to. I've liked working on it. It's a little wordy. I need to cut it back some, but we'll see. There's a lot to talk about. Anyway, there's a lot to do today, and I know you're busy, and I know you got to get going. But I thank you for taking some time to hang out and record and all of that stuff.
And, and to be brushing my teeth while we're recording. Multitasking.
Okay, I'm glad to know. So-
I know. I hope y'all didn't hear me spit because that's what I was using to do it.
Okay. Yeah, no. They probably didn't. It'll mute it out. That'd be funny if Zoom already knew that sound and had it muted out. Because they take common sounds and they ask you buried in the settings if you want them to do that. So, and I generally let them because it's a podcast and we need decent audio. And but they already know the sound of a flushing toilet, and I think that's hilarious. That's probably one of the most common ones, wouldn't you think that they'd have to edit out?
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, just goes, y'all trust your AI. Trust your AI.
You are awful. I'm
They
not
know
going to trust
everything.
anybody's AI. Yours, mine, howdy doodies. I ain't got no
True.
trust there for sure.
That's true. Well, as I suspected, AI has been an incredible help as for me to explaining to me what certain vital signs could mean, and the all of that stuff. I could take a picture of the bio screen above her bed, and it would come back and say, well, this is what this means, and this is what this means, and these might be some questions to ask. And it's not that I couldn't have figured that out on my own, but I don't know that I could have. Yeah.
Well, I know you could have, but if it saved you a few minutes, then that's good.
And I hate the thought of it. I do, because I feel like humans are going to, and probably already are, so dependent on AI that they forget how to think for themselves. And we all have watched the sci-fi. We know what happens after that. And even more, we watched Wally.
We talk about
where,
that a lot, don't we? Hey,
yeah,
one last thing, and then I got to go, and that
okay.
is I have loved watching the space launch and
Yes.
seeing Earth from space again. That made me, it teared me up.
Yeah, a lot of us too. All right. I love you. Have a good day. Y'all,
Love you
thank
too.
you.
Let's talk soon, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
All
We'll see
right.
ya.
Thank you, weirdlings. Thank you, Alicia. Love
Thank you,
ya.
everybody. We'll see ya.
Bye.
Bye.